What's up, you guys?
If you would have told me that what we're looking at right now would be the first place deck of YCS Milan, I would think you're absolutely crazy. But in fact, Prank Kids won the YCS. That's right. Y'all have seen it by now. I know you guys have. It's insane. Let that sink in. Prank Kids won YCS Milan. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Yeah, it happened. I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my God, this is nuts. Everyone has seen it. Everyone is talking about it. And what else is there to say? What is it? Ding Kai Boy? I hope I probably butchered his name, but you did your thing, man. He got a second place finish at, YCS Utrecht and got a second with BA. And now he's won the YCS with Prank Kids. The video title says it all. Why Prank Kids won YCS Milan? I know what you guys are thinking. Here's why they won YCS Milan. People don't know what they do. Ha 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 ha. All this bullshit. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I could probably just end the video there. Yeah, people don't read cards. People don't know what cards do. People side incorrectly. The end. But there's a lot more to it than that, as was displayed in the feature matches if you took the time to watch them. And I would say one of the main things that we could take away from it is that this deck really just shit on Thunder Dragons, and Thunder Dragons saw a resurgence at this YCS, so there's a lot to talk about. But anyways, like we do on this series, we're going to go over the deck list real quick. This might take a little longer just because I know Prank Kids are new to a lot of people, myself included. I knew only about them just a little bit. I didn't know what all the cards did, but now clearly with the list live, we're able to do this. But anyways, this is what won YCS Milan, you guys. We're going to get into it. It is Prank Kids. So it plays 3 copies of 3 Prank Kids Rock. That's the Earth one. If you guys will notice, they're all different attributes. They're all different attributes and types. So 3 Prank Kids Rock, basically what this card does is when it's sent to the grave as a fusion material for a link or the summon of Prank Kids monster, you banish 1 card from your hand, and if you do, draw 1 card. Then you can special Prank Kid from the deck. So the way it works is like they all have an effect, and then they all special Prank Kids from the deck except themselves. So basically they just kind of cycle through each other. This is the newest one that came out, I believe, in the special edition. The Earth one is the newest one, and it gives you like a free draw to fix your hand or whatever. The Fire one, what is it? Prank Kids, Lampsies. This one, it burns for 500. If it's used for a fusion summon or a link summon of a Prank Kids, and then so it deals damage to your opponent, and then you special summon again from the deck. He played 3 Ash Blossom, that's standard. It's his only hand trap in the main deck. Onto the Water one, the Prank Kids Dropsies. So this is the Water one. This one's actually pretty cool. This card actually can help you make Totally Awesome, which is also in the extra deck. When this card goes to the grave for a fusion or link material of a Prank Kids monster, this is how you gain 1,000 life points. If you guys were paying attention and watching the feature matches, you would notice that his life points were always higher than his opponents by a pretty large margin. And the reason is because with Dropsies and with Lampsies, you're able to burn your opponent with Lampsies, gain life with Dropsies, and it's crazy. You're always going to be ahead. I think this deck is insane in time. It completely just abuses the time rule like it's nobody's business. And the last Prank Kid monster was Prank Kid Fancies. This is the Wind one, and this one is your Foolish Burial. It sends 1 Prank Kids card from your deck to the grave. So this deck, pretty insane when you think about it. The monsters, like, they all have floating abilities, and they have all these just really cool little effects that all come together and, put the whole Prank Kids package together. But that's it for the monsters. Onto the spells. One of the best cards in the deck is Instant Fusion. So it was said on stream multiple times that opening Instant Fusion in a Prank Kids card is actually how you combo. And if you watch the matches, you'll see that that's exactly what happens. I believe Instant Fusion plus a Prank Kid is like a 1-card Boral Sword or Borolo Dragon, which is insane. So this card is the nuts. Their main target, I believe, is the Butler? I don't remember what card they actually summon. With this one they summon. I take it back. They summon the Prank Kids Rocket, so that's why they do play 3 copies of it. Very, very cool that you're able to just bring this out off of that. I like that a lot. I believe you can bring both of these out. So very cool. They have multiple targets, so your instant fusions are not really dead. You do want to see it in your opening hand. A lot of times you want to see multiples, but very, very cool. This deck actually played old school polymerization. It was nuts when I saw it played on stream. He played this art of it. That's why I included it in the deck profile. Yeah, that's nuts. Poly. I mean, it makes sense. You're a fusion-based deck. You know, you just fuse away, and you know, since the monsters are in your hand and they're still going to the graveyard for the fusion summon, you get all their effects. So it's insane. 3 Potted Desires, self-explanatory, you draw 2. 2 Terraforming, because the field card, which is now a $20 card, if you guys didn't know, you just want to see the field card. The field card is insane. Plays 2 copies of Invocation, so this was something I wanted to talk about. I think this is really, really cool. You're able to fusion summon, you know, we always think, oh, this is just an Alistair card, oh, this is just an invoked card. That's actually not the case. It actually reads fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters in your hand as fusion materials. So it's the same thing as polymerization. You're basically playing 5 copies of polymerization, and that's insane. With I don't think a lot of people think about that, and Invocation is nuts. So this is just another way to tutor out your Prank Kids fusion. So very, very cool. 3 copies of Call by the Grave. The card is back at 3. He's playing 3 just because you want to catch any hand trap that can get in your way, and when you do that, you usually win the game. So very, very solid. Don't really need to talk about that. On to some of the Prank Kids support cards. We've got what is called Prank Kids Pandemonium. So this is their quick play fusion card, and it's during the main phase. Fusion summon 1 Prank Kids fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. For the rest of this turn, you can't normal or special anything but Prank Kids. That doesn't matter. All you play are Prank Kids. So what's really cool about this is you can fuse on your opponent's turn, you can fuse on your turn. And what's really nice is that this just, you know, just triggers everything. And one thing you'll notice about this deck is it's extremely good at chain blocking. So these cards are nuts. I played 2 copies of Prank Kids Pranks. So this card is you can discard 1 Prank Kids card, special summon 1 Prank Kids token. It cannot be tributed. During the end phase, you can target 3 Prank Kid cards in your graveyard, except itself. Shuffle all 3 into the deck, then draw a card. So this is a Pot of Avarice. That's right, this is a Pot of Avarice. Yeah, that's nuts. These support cards are nuts. They only played 2 copies of it. I can see where you wouldn't want to see more than like 1 or 2 copies of this. And then the field spell, the $20 field spell. Prank Kids Place. So when this card is activated, you can add 1 Prank Kids monster from your deck to your hand. So this is like the best card to Ash. I believe that's what ended up happening in the finals. He goes Prank Kids Place. Guy goes Ash. He goes Call by the Grave, and then he just goes off. So it was nuts. That's one of its effects. Once per turn, if you fusion summon a Prank Kids fusion monster, except during the damage step, you can have all monsters you control gain 500, even if this card leaves the field. Oh, that's wild. So you get like a permanent 500. Once per turn, if you link summon a Prank Kids link monster, you can have all monsters your opponent controls lose 500. So basically, you gain 500, your opponent's monsters lose 500. That's insane. You can only activate it once per turn, but who cares? That field spell insane. There's a reason why this card is $20 besides the hype. It's like one of the best cards in the deck. I mean, it searches your deck for whatever you want. Like, that's nuts. And to round out the deck, he played 2 copies of the Trap, Prank Kids Plan. So it reads, during the main phase, you can activate this effect. Immediately after the effect resolves, link summon 1 Prank Kids link monster using Prank Kids monsters you control as material. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish this card from the graveyard, shuffle any number of Prank Kids cards from your graveyard into the deck, and if you do, that attacking monster loses 100 attack for each card shuffled. That's actually nuts. Until the end phase of this turn, you can only use each effect of Prank Kids Plan once per turn. So that is the main deck, you guys. It's 41 cards. We've gone over all the Prank Kids cards. They're pretty nuts when you think about it. They're a bunch of floaters. They've got really good support cards. Fusion, they're all about fusions. Like, we thought Thunder Dragons were all about fusion. This deck is all about fusion, and I mean, it's insane. But that's it for the main deck. On to the extra deck. So for the Prank Kids cards, he plays 1 copy of Prank Kids Battle Butler. So you make this with Lampseas and drops with with Lampseas, Dropseas, and Fancies. Must be fusion summon, and its quick effect is just, so one thing you'll notice, a lot of these fusions have quick effects. So you can tribute this card, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card in your possession is sent to the graveyard opponent by your opponent's card. You can target 1 non-fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use the effect once per turn. This is insane. This is a Raigeki. That's right, this is a Raigeki, a built-in Raigeki. That's nuts. And also, if your opponent does anything to it, you're able to, special summon something back. So that's insane. So this is your Raigeki. You play 3 copies of the Rocket. If this card is fusion summon, you can have this card lose 1,000 attack. This turn also, it can attack directly, so that's really cool. You contribute this card, then target 2 Prank Kids non-fusion monsters with different names in your graveyard, special summon, but they cannot attack during the turn. So this card basically just recycles into your monsters. You just sack this off as a quick effect, and then literally get back your 2 of your guys, so that's nuts. You've got 2 copies of the Prank Kids Weather Washer. If your Prank Kids monsters attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. That's actually wild. So basically, they just can't respond to when you attack. That's pretty cool. You contribute this card, then target 2 Prank Kids non-fusion monsters with different names in your graveyard. Special summon them. They cannot be destroyed by battle this turn, so that's really cool. So you have a way to just have like infinite walls against your opponent. And as you've seen, the floatability of this deck is nuts. So you got 2 copies of that. I already mentioned the Totally Awesome because of its ability to be made with the copies of Prank Kids Dropsies. Borreload Dragon, you guys already saw in the finals, he summoned Borreload and Borrelsword. I mean, the hell? See, the thing is, the deck spams so many monsters, like, it's actually really easy to make these cards. 1 copy of Prank Kids Rip, Roar, and Rooster, yeah. You contribute this card, destroy all spell and traps your opponent controls. So basically, this is your Harpy's Feather Duster. So basically, you can set up this one, and you can have a Raigeki and a Harpy's Feather Duster. That's so insane. Like, just think about that. That's so insane. And not only that, this is 3,000 attack, and this is 3,000 attack, 3,000. You know, like, this is just nuts. Like, this deck, like, actually, now that I'm reading it, I'm just like, I can see why it won, just off of its sheer, just like, what the cards are. The 1 Borrelsword for OTKs, and then 3 of the, Prank Kids Dodo Doodle Doo. Oh, boy. So if this card is link summoned, you can add 1 Prank Kid spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You contribute this card, then target 2 Prank Kids cards with different names in your graveyard. Except link monsters, add them to your hand. So basically, you recycle. Not only do you get a search, but you also add back Prank Kids cards. So very, very cool. And then the last Prank Kid is Prank Kids Bow Wow Bark. A Prank Kids monster this card points to gains 1,000 attack during your opponent's turn. This is a quick effect. You contribute this card, then target 2 Prank Kids cards with different names in your graveyard, except link monsters, add them to your hand. So again, you're able to, recycle your cards. And then Prank Kids monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's cards effects this turn. And it's a once per turn effect. So very, very cool. And then you rounded out the deck with Nightmare Phoenix because it's generic back row removal. Side deck real quick. He played the Gamma Driver package, 2 Prankatops, 3 Denko, 3 Impermanents, 3 Evenlies. Why in the hell did Prank Kids win YCS Milan? We're going to start with everything everyone's going to say in the comments, because no one knew what the cards did. You're probably right, and for that, I applaud you, because you know what? You're probably right. I didn't know what these cards did till I read them, so you are 100% right. That is not the only reason, though. I feel that people are very quick to discredit, a player's capabilities when it comes to playing, and for those of you that don't know, this is, like I said, this is not Ding Kai Boy's first time in the finals. This is his second time in the finals. He lost, the first time. He wins this time. And from what I've been told, from what was said on stream, he's actually an extremely intelligent person. Like, most people you hope to be smart, but he's like extremely intelligent. When people said he's very, very smart, and everything is down like to a science with him in deck building. A lot of people said that, that was one of the main reasons. He decided to give the deck a try where no one else would. He decided to try something, that maybe just seemed out of the ordinary to everyone else, but to him it made sense, and he played the deck masterfully. If you guys watch the stream, he plays so fast and smooth with the deck, like it's insane. It's like he practiced with it, and I mean clearly it shows. I think that's another reason. I think a lot of people, since they didn't know what to do, he just started going off. They didn't know what to hit, and I think that was another critical mistake. You didn't know what to hit. You had to take time to read the cards. All of that falls into the time category. You're wasting time reading cards. You're wasting time trying to figure out, what do I stop? What do I not stop? What do I ash? What do I don't ash? What do I use hand traps on? What do I not use hand traps on? And before you know it, your opponent's up in life, you're down in life, and before you can even get to like certain battle phases, you're already so behind, there's nothing you can do. So most of the time, you can't destroy the monsters by battle, so it buys more turns. You can't get rid of them by card effects, it buys more turns, and the deck just keeps going and going and going. And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't respect about the deck, is that the deck's playability is there. Its ability to just keep flowing is there. And I think a deck like this, being not prepared for, not cited for, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when it just starts going off? Like, there's literally nothing you can do. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, well, Sky Striker's a better deck. Thunder Dragon's a better deck. Maybe. Probably. I mean, Striker probably is the better deck. It probably has the better engine, but Thunder Dragons, I mean, I played Thunder Dragons, and after watching the couple matches I saw, and I'm not talking about just any run-of-the-muck Thunder Dragon players. I'm talking about probably some of the best Thunder Dragon players in the game right now. They got destroyed. Like, they got destroyed. They didn't misplay or anything. They just got destroyed. Like, this deck literally just steamrolled them. And, I mean, it blows my mind because of how powerful Thunder Dragons feel, and then you just get absolutely just destroyed by this deck. I think that's insane. So I feel another reason the deck won is it was, of course, an amazing meta call. And I say an amazing meta call because its ability, if you know how to play against Striker, that's probably the most represented deck. It already is shown to have a very good matchup against Thunder Dragons. It has pretty much just good matchups across the board because your opponent is not going to know what to do and you're going to be able to survive. I feel this deck can really just like kind of, you know, just stall against like 86 as well, because like one of the ways to beat 86 is to, you know, kind of just wait it out. And you guys noticed is that it wasn't that highly represented. That was another thing. Since the Rongo, Bongo, Dark Warrior, Goki decks were not that highly represented, the FTKs weren't highly represented, this deck pretty much had, you know, the freedom to just play against decks that, you know, would play every turn. And if your turn was better and you just had this much advantage, this much floatability, you were going to win in the long run. So it was very, very impressive, without a doubt. I think the side deck is also tailored to combat the meta. I mean, you have everything. You have your answer to Strikers, answers to Strikers, answers to pretty much combo decks. Like, he's playing the Gamma package, and he's playing Impermanences. Like, he is ready for the combo decks. His side deck, I think, is honestly perfect. Like, I don't see a single flaw with it. The fact that, you know, you're basically always special summoning, and you just summon Denko against Striker, and then you just go off with, like, your Instant Fusion and your Prank Kids. I don't see how you don't win. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't see how you don't just steamroll decks like that. Same with Altergeist. Like, if your opponent can't do anything to your cards, like, you're gonna win every time. So pretty crazy, but overall I think it's very impressive. I think it's awesome that, you know, a different deck won the YCS, and I think everyone is just floored by this. They're probably still trying to process this. I think I'm deep down still trying to process this because Prank Kids won YCS Milan, you guys, and I feel there are so many more reasons why. I feel that it all came down to technical play. I feel like since he was so well versed in this deck, he knew what to do in every situation. He knew how to take advantage of going second. He knew how to, you know, set up a board going first, a board that, you know, could be a Raigeki, could be a Heavy Storm, could be whatever. A Heavy Storm against decks like Sky Strikers and decks like Altergeist is insane. A Raigeki against decks that, you know, need their monsters is insane too. Granted, the Raigeki effect may not be good against Thunder Dragons, but clearly he didn't need it to win, so just something to take into account. But overall, I'm very impressed by this deck. I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Why do you feel this deck won YCS Milan? And do not say it's because people didn't know what the cards did. I already made that clear. We don't read cards sometimes. That's our own fault. Players don't read cards. They don't know how to play against it. I'd say probably the number one reason is since people were not expecting this deck and people discredited this deck, they did not side against this deck. What beats this deck? Rivalry and Gozen. Pretty simple, right? But people were just not really prepared for this, and I think that's why the deck did so well, and I'm very impressed by it, and I'm extremely happy for it, and I just wanted to bring this video to you guys. But I'd like to know in the comments below, why do you guys feel Prank Kids, of all decks, won YCS Milan? Not only that, they won one of, if not, I believe now it has been said to be the biggest European YCS. Just think about that. Prank Kids won the biggest European YCS to date. It's insane. The player is amazing. He was humble throughout the entire event. Like, if you just watch the live stream, again, watch the live stream, you guys, because shout out to Konami EU. You guys give the best coverage I've ever seen. Like, it's insane. I was watching the finals at work, and I was just blown away. So it's absolutely amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the deck in the comments below, and I will see you guys in another video. And all I can say is never discredit a deck because it can come out of nowhere and win an event, and that's exactly what happened. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.